Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Wainright. I am an aerospace engineering student at Cal Poly Pomona, and I am a student veteran. Today, I'm going to go over GI Bill 101, Navigating Financial Aid for Student Veterans. Just some background on me. I served in the U.S. Army. I was a field artilleryman and spent over half my time in the service overseas on various deployments. I've been using the GI Bill personally to pay for all of my education so far, and I've made some mistakes on the way, things I should have done different, and I want to help everyone else avoid making those same mistakes. I feel like veterans typically work pretty hard for the GI Bill, and unfortunately, many of them don't know how to use it to their full advantage when they transition to civilian life. In this video, I will teach you what the GI Bill can do for you, the limitations of the GI Bill, how to use it effectively to maximize the amount of financial aid you receive, and I'll go over some special considerations that STEM students need to consider when using the GI Bill. This video will primarily focus on the post 9/11 GI Bill, aka the Chapter 33, since that's the most common. I've spoken to a lot of my friends that have gotten out of the military and asked me about the GI Bill, and many of them don't actually know what it is or how to use it. They're pretty lost, and it can lead to some paralysis by analysis. So I hope that this is a video that I can direct them towards so that they can learn more about it and learn how to use it effectively in the future. So first, you need to determine whether or not you are actually eligible for the GI Bill. You are eligible for the GI Bill if at least one of these things apply. You served for at least 90 days on active duty after 9/11. You received a Purple Heart after 9/11. You served for at least 30 continuous days and were honorably discharged with a service-connected disability, or you are a dependent child using benefits transferred by a qualifying veteran or service member. However, even if you meet all of the eligibility requirements, or even one of them, you might not be eligible for the entire GI Bill. So the full GI Bill entitles you to 36 months of education benefits, and you must have served in the military for 36 months in order to obtain this full amount. If you have not served for at least 36 months, the following chart is going to describe how much of the GI Bill you are entitled to. And you can see here how much you are entitled to. So I know some people get away with having a short contract, maybe 2 years, 2.5 years, and they get out and they think they're going to have the GI Bill, and they will, but not the full GI Bill. You won't get all 36 months. So something to consider. And then let's say you've met the eligibility requirement, you do have the GI Bill, you're ready to use it. What does it actually give you? We'll cover the cost of the tuition of your college or university for 36 months of education. Many veterans believe the GI Bill only pays for their school tuition and therefore believe they cannot attend school full-time since housing and books can be so expensive. This is a very common misconception and is not correct. Later in the video, I'll go over common misconceptions and mistakes, but this one is so important and so prevalent that I felt the need to include it right away. The GI Bill also allows for a $1,000 per year book stipend for books and supplies, and it allows for a monthly housing allowance or MHA to help pay for housing. To find out how much MHA you will be paid per month, you can enter your school zip code into a calculator at the link that I posted. Hopefully we can get that link in the description. If not, just type that link into your web browser and enter your school zip code and it'll tell you how much you get paid per month. Some common GI Bill mistakes. Mistake 1, not enrolling as a full-time student. If you do not enroll in classes full-time, you will not be awarded full benefits. This is very important because many students wait to initiate their GI Bill benefits after they have already registered. And if you haven't registered for 12 plus units, you will not receive full GI Bill benefits. So something to consider before you register. At most colleges and universities, full-time is 12 or more units per semester or quarter. Engineering students, or really STEM students in general, should definitely take note that many labs are only worth 1 unit but can have just as much work as a 3-unit class. So you need to plan accordingly, because if you take 12 units, but 4 of those are 1-credit labs, yeah, you're only taking 12 units, but it's going to be harder than a typical 12-unit semester. So that can be important. Mistake number 2 would be failing courses. If you enroll in 12 units, but you fail a course, you will not have been considered full-time. Dropping a course can also have a similar effect. Depending on your specific circumstances, this can actually lead to you owing a debt to the VA. So to combat this, many veterans will enroll in 15 plus units per semester. That way, if they fail a course, they still have 12 plus passing units and are considered full-time. However, this is not always recommended. It is a great strategy to ensure that you can fail a course and still be considered full-time and completely avoid owing any debt to the VA. But sometimes 15 units is tough, depending on what you're taking, especially, like I said before, if many of them are just 1-unit labs. Mistakes continued. Mistake number 3 would be not using the GI Bill at all. Many veterans believe that higher education is not for them and they don't pursue it. The GI Bill is your money, so don't let it go to waste. You worked hard for it. Many people have metaphorically and literally fought for their GI Bill, and then they don't use it. And it's insane to me to think about. You should at least attempt to use your GI Bill. If you dedicate yourself to school in the same manner that you dedicated yourself to the military, you will succeed. Mistake number 4 is rushing to finish your degree. Many student veterans worry that they need more than the 36 months of education time to get their degree done. So they pack as many units as possible into a single semester. This is something that I've done, and I do not recommend it. Your GPA will definitely take a hit, and it could cause you to make mistake number 2, which was failing a course. Overall, a steady pace of about 15 units per semester is generally best when using the GI Bill. This ensures you can still fail a course if you have to and still be full-time, but it ensures you don't overload yourself. Of course, you should speak with a representative at your school and a counselor to see how many units you should actually take per semester, as that will vary depending on your major, things like that. Correcting some common misconceptions, things that I pretty much didn't know when I started using the GI Bill, but now do know. The GI Bill can be used for summer sessions, but you still must be full-time. What full-time means in the summer is going to be dependent on your university. It's probably not 12 units over the summer, since summer sessions are shorter. But if you enroll in a 3-credit class, but 4 credits is full-time over the summer at your university, you're not going to get full benefits because you're not full-time. The GI Bill can usually be used during winter sessions as well, but you should contact your school to verify this. I know at Cal Poly Pomona, the GI Bill can be used during winter sessions. And as stated previously, the GI Bill does give a housing allowance and book stipend. People don't know that, so they think, oh, I can't afford to go to school even though my tuition is covered, and they don't use their GI Bill. It's not an excuse. You get a housing allowance and you get a book stipend. You can obtain a minor while using the GI Bill, as well as take elective courses unrelated to your major. Personally, I am minoring in mathematics right now. The GI Bill is not just good for a bachelor's degree. You can get a bachelor's degree, you can get a minor, you can double major, you can double minor, you can take unrelated courses if they fit in your schedule. The GI Bill will pay for it as long as you are on track to receive a bachelor's degree as well. And you can also transfer schools while using the GI Bill. Some veterans think that once you have the GI Bill, you give it to your school and the school does the rest. And so you can't transfer, and that's not true. I transferred from a community college to Cal Poly Pomona, and there was no issues using the GI Bill at one school versus the other. And you can still receive additional financial aid while using the GI Bill, such as FAFSA. Your financial aid will probably be limited as opposed to other students, but you can still get it. So if you get FAFSA and your tuition is already covered, that's just money in your pocket. No reason not to get it. My number one GI Bill tip would be to talk to a veteran-specific counselor at your school's Veterans Resource Center. Nearly all schools, or all schools that I've heard of, have a Veterans Resource Center. Typically, this includes an academic counselor who will help you navigate the GI Bill, somebody who's been specially trained in the GI Bill and who has done it before. However, do not entirely rely on your Veterans Resource Center. You cannot expect them to know every detail of your specific situation, and your education is ultimately still your responsibility, not theirs. They're there to help you, not do it all for you. And of course, being around fellow veterans in your Veterans Resource Center can really make the social aspect of school much easier to handle. Transitioning back to civilian life can be difficult in college. You're probably a lot older than everybody, but that can really help. And lastly, I've included the contact information for the Cal Poly Pomona VRC. Since if you're watching this, you're probably a Cal Poly Pomona student, but almost all schools have them. And that's it. Thank you for your time. I hope you found this to be useful. I've had a lot of people get out of the Army and contact me about using the GI Bill, people that I served with, and their misconceptions are typically the same, the ones that I've covered. So if you're a student veteran trying to start school, I really hope this helped. Thank you.